Hey guys, it's Dan here, back again for another recent pickups video for you guys. Today we're going to be covering everything I picked up in the month of September. Didn't pick up a whole lot in September, but it's a lot of newer, more recent stuff, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, and this first pickup here was something I was really looking forward to, and this game is honestly like a little bit of a childhood dream come true for me, because I'm obviously a big fan of like classic 2D Mario games. Mario Bros. 3 and Mario World are among my all-time favorite games, and I just love classic 2D Mario, and even transporting myself back as like a kid in my youth and all that, playing those games, I used to think about this kind of idea of like, man, it'd be so cool to like make my own Mario levels and stuff like that, and like that would be so much fun and be able to like share that and stuff like that. I used to think about the idea, and I never really thought that'd become a reality, but it has become a reality. So kind of childhood dream come true for me, but this is awesome. Super Mario Maker. I've been pretty addicted to Super Mario Maker. It's definitely one of my new favorite go-to games for the Wii U to just kind of relax, chill, and play some levels. If you're not familiar with Mario Maker somehow, it's basically a Mario creation tool, which is really cool. It's very intuitive, really simple. I played around with it creating. I really haven't made any levels. I made like 2 levels, which are kind of like recreations of like the long lost e-reader levels from Mario Bros. 3 for the Game Boy Advance. So I played around with that, but actually I'm not really focused on making Mario levels, which is kind of ironic because, you know, that's kind of what I wanted as a kid, but like nowadays I don't have the time or patience to kind of sit through and make like a Mario level. So I've mainly been having fun just playing other people's levels and stuff like that. But the creation tool, really cool. It's really intuitive. It's just like this drag and drop process, and it's just really well thought out. Like, to make bigger enemies, you drag like a mushroom on top of them, like really cool little stuff like that. Really cool little attention to detail within the creation process. Super simple. Anyone can pick up the creation process and begin making their own levels. Really fun. But the big part of it for me, and the most fun, is just coming from the enjoyment of just playing random people's levels or my friends' levels. So you can go through, they have like it's sorted from like, you know, star rankings, the most amount of favorites, the most amount of plays, you know, up and coming levels, and I just go through and just like randomly play levels, and then once I finish the level I might play one of the suggested levels on the bottom, and I just have so much fun going through all these levels and like just checking out all these various levels from all these creators, and it's fun playing your friends' levels too. So I've just been having an absolute blast with it. It's really cool too because it's different styles too. So it's got the original Mario Brothers, Mario World, Mario Bros. 3, New Super Mario Brothers, and they all play how they're supposed to. So all the little, you know, unique mechanics to each style works, and it's really cool. And you can do stuff in here that you couldn't do before, which is really interesting. Like make a ghost house level for the original Mario Brothers style, or have airship levels for the original Mario Bros. Style. That wasn't a thing, but it's doable in here, which is really interesting. There's little details. It's not a perfect game, but there's little details that could have been in here, and there's things missing that I think really should have been in here, like the ability to maybe have slopes. I thought that was kind of an important thing for kind of Mario World, especially, was this ability to have slopes and all that, and you can't really do that. There's some enemies and stuff that I kind of wish was in here that I feel like should totally be in here. So that kind of leads the question, maybe there could be DLC for this in the future, like a little expansion pack type of thing, but this is just a blast. If you're a fan of like classic 2D Mario games, this is a must, and it's just so much fun. Whether you want to create or whether you just want to kick back and play levels, so much fun. Definitely recommend it. And if you guys have created some levels, please let me know. I'm looking for any more levels I can play in Super Mario Maker, so I'd be interested to play through some of your guys' levels if you pick this up. Okay, and next we have a 3DS game I was really looking forward to. I'm a big fan of the series, and it's a series that's definitely more well known for its really blatant and extreme fan service, but I don't think that should overshadow the fact that these games are still very solid and very enjoyable 3D hack and slash beat 'em ups, and that's what I really love the series for. Very fun, although I don't mind the fan service, obviously. But I'm a big fan of the series, so of course I had to pick up Senran Kagura 2 Deep Crimson, another Senran Kagura game here on the 3DS. Senran Kagura is definitely a series more well known for its fan service and really blatant and extreme fan service. It features this really busty ninja gals fighting it out with tons and tons of enemies, or fighting it out against each other, and, you know, clothes rip as they take damage and all that. So the fan service is definitely there. But they're still very enjoyable, fun 3D hack and slash beat 'em ups, and this is another fun one on the 3DS. It plays how you would expect from a Senran Kagura game. Very enjoyable. All the characters play in their own unique way. You have various combos you can do with each character, and then they all have their own unique kind of special skills and stuff they can do. This game actually introduces quite a bit of modes, which I really liked. It has various modes. There's like a mode which requires you to kind of fight in really particular ways. There's a thing called Yoma's Nest, which I really appreciate, having like an easier mode to like level grind and stuff like that, so that's really fun. And this does have like level grinding and all that to increase your character's stats. Tons of costumes to collect as you like clear the story missions and stuff like that. It's just very, very fun. Another fun Senran Kagura game on here. The camera angle isn't the best at times. It's like a fixed camera angle, so it's like a 3D environment, but it's a fixed camera angle. And sometimes it doesn't do the best job keeping up. I found a lot of times where I was having a hard time seeing everything on the screen at once, where I was getting attacked when I couldn't see the enemies, stuff like that. But really, really enjoyable. There's some really epic boss fights in here too, really cool stuff, and looks really good on the 3DS, surprisingly. And I do have to say, 3D effect, very impressive. Not that I use that much or anything, but very, very fun. I really had a blast with this, and I just can't wait for Senran Kagura's Verse. I'm really, really looking forward to that. It's the one I'm really, really anticipating. This is the first print. It comes with like a 2-disc soundtrack with like 60 plus tracks on there, so really, really great stuff as usual from Xseed and Marvelous. And I just like that they called it the Double D edition. So very, very fun series. If you're a fan of like 3D hack and slash beat 'em ups, definitely look into the Senran Kagura series. Don't let all the fan service kind of deter you. It's still a very solid and really fun series. Moving on, we have a PS Vita game I was really looking forward to because A, I'm a big fan of the series, B, I'm a big fan of music rhythm games. So when I heard this kind of spin-off, I was all about this. So of course I had to pick up Persona 4 Dancing All Night for the PS Vita. This is a Disco Fever edition. Really nice limited edition. It has this big box with this really nice shiny foily cover, and I'm a sucker for shiny foily covers. And this has some cool contents. The main reason I wanted this set was for the 2-disc soundtrack. The 2-disc soundtrack is phenomenal. It's like 60 plus tracks, really comprehensive stuff, and it's awesome. It has so much awesome Persona 4 music over 2 discs, and it has like all the various like remixes and arrangements that are new for Persona 4 Dancing All Night. So that's really, really worth owning, and the main reason I bought this limited edition for sure. I didn't do an unboxing on this just because my order was delayed, unfortunately, for this item, so it took me a while to get this actually. And by the time I got it, I was like, man, no one would be interested in unboxing anymore because there were so many unboxings covered for this. So there's plenty out there if you want to see an unboxing on this. But moving on to the game. Moving on, we have Persona 4 Dancing All Night here, which is a music rhythm game spin-off for the PS Vita, and not the first spin-off for the Persona 4 franchise. But it makes sense though because of the music style of Persona 4. It's really upbeat, really happy, really poppy stuff, so it attributes well to like a music rhythm game spin-off. And basically how this works is it's actually kind of similar to like the DJ Max like PSP games if you played those, where how it plays is it uses the outer buttons on like the PS Vita or the PlayStation controller, so like down, left, up, and then what is it, X, circle, triangle. So like the outer buttons, and you time the button pressing as like these notes come from the middle to like the outside. And it's a very busy game visually. Like there's a lot of stuff. It's very colorful as Persona 4 should be and all that. It's very colorful like a typical music rhythm game. There's various notes. There's like standard notes, simultaneous notes that you have to hit as they kind of go to each side simultaneously. There's like hold notes and scratch notes and stuff like that. So it's really busy. And it takes some getting used to be honest, because I played a lot of music rhythm games, and maybe it's just me, but I'm used to most music rhythm games having the mechanic where as soon as a note appears, like over like whatever the icon or indicator is, that's when you hit it. It works a little bit differently in Persona 4 Dancing All Night. The timing's a little bit weirder. It's a little bit different. It takes some getting used to because it's actually not, I found that it's not as the note is like exactly over, it's kind of just before. So like you gotta play a music rhythm game basically where you're trying to hit notes, but just before it kind of reaches the indicator, which takes some getting used to. And it took me a while to figure out like how to get perfect notes and stuff like that and all that. But that takes some getting used to and some practice for sure. But it works, and once it clicks, it's very fun and very enjoyable. The music is great in here. There's some really great remixes, some okay remixes, but just a lot of great music. There's tons and tons of like costumes and unlockable costumes, accessories for all the various characters. There is a story mode in here. I didn't even bother with the story mode because it's a music rhythm game. I'm not playing a music rhythm game for a story mode, so I just wanted to jump in and start playing the game, and I've been having a blast with it, trying to set high scores and all that, and unlocking all these various costumes and all that. Very, very fun music rhythm game. Not one of my favorite music rhythm games, and not even one of my favorite music rhythm games on the platform itself, but still very enjoyable. Definitely a must for Persona 4 fans, especially if you love Persona 4 music. You'll enjoy this. It's a solid music rhythm game for sure, and fans of music rhythm games should definitely check this out. And next we have a PS Vita game I was really looking forward to because I'm a huge fan of this series. One of my favorite series. I just absolutely adore this series. And once I heard of the survival horror action adventure game spin-off, I was really intrigued. But of course I had to pick up Danganronpa, another episode, Ultra Despair Girls. This is a NIS America limited edition here. Yet again, a really nice limited edition from NIS America. Of course, I've done an unboxing on this, so you can check that out to learn more about the contents within this set. Moving on, we have Danganronpa, another episode, Ultra Despair Girls here for the PS Vita. As mentioned before, this is a survival horror action adventure game spin-off for the Danganronpa series. The events of this game take place in between the events of Danganronpa 1 and 2. And with that being said, I definitely do recommend that you played the first two before checking out this one. There are some spoilers for both Danganronpa 1 and 2. And in general, you're just going to get more out of this game and more appreciation for this game if you played the other main games of the series. But the story is really interesting in Danganronpa, another episode. That's the main thing I really loved with this game, and the story just sucked me in yet again. It's another interesting story from the Danganronpa series. It's a series known for its really interesting stories, and this game definitely delivers. So the story is really interesting, and this is no spoilers here, so I'm just going to kind of briefly talk about the story very vaguely and all that, just to avoid any spoilers. But basically, it's another elaborate killing game, which isn't a spoiler because that's how all the Danganronpa games are kind of laid out. They're elaborate killing games. So another elaborate killing game is happening on this island called Towa City. The main characters are kind of trapped within this situation. They gotta kind of fight back against this kind of force. But it's a really interesting story. Like, the story is really dark and twisted, and it honestly may be the darkest and twisted story of the whole Danganronpa series. I know it's saying quite a bit, but because of the role reversal of the characters in charge and the characters in power, it makes the stories so much more different. It changes dynamics, it makes it really interesting, it makes things more intense, more dark, more twisted because of the innocence connected with the characters who are in charge and all that, the bad guys, if you will. So that's all I'll kind of say about that, but I really love that. I thought that was super interesting. One of the most interesting stories, honestly, I've played in quite some time. And the characters are great, so obviously we have Toko Fukawa from the first one. She makes a return in this one, and I love Toko. She's such a great character. I just loved her so much. And then Komaru Naegi, who's the little sister of Makoto Naegi from the first game. She's so cute and adorable. I love her. She's kind of got this innocence about her. She's really just adorable, nonchalant, maybe a little bit of an airhead, a little bit ditzy, but she's adorable. And in general, that's something I really loved too, was this kind of character duo with Toko and Komaru. They're such a great character duo. I love hearing their banter between each other, and the dialogue between them was so great. But like I mentioned before, Danganronpa, another episode, is a survival horror action adventure game, so it actually plays more like your traditional third-person action shooter type of game. It takes place in Towa City, like I mentioned before, and Towa City is actually really interesting. The environments are really interesting. The game has a really great aesthetic presentation and all that, just really great stuff visually. But you're going around Towa City in these kind of 3D environments with Komaru and Toko, and basically how it works is Komaru has this hacking gun, and you're trying to fight back against these hordes of Monokumas, and there's these different types of Monokumas which all kind of function in their own unique way, and then Komaru has these various troop bullets which she can switch between, and that's a big mechanic in this game, is kind of using these troop bullets in the right situations, because certain troop bullets are better against certain types of Monokumas, certain troop bullets are better in certain situations, and then there's troop bullets that help you kind of do some environmental puzzle solving. And there also is some puzzle solving too. There'll be moments where you're trying to solve riddles and these puzzles and stuff like that. And that there's also this mini game with this Monokuman where it's puzzle solving as well. So that kind of puzzle solving helps kind of break up the action kind of gameplay. And it works. I found it fun and enjoyable. It's not the best because the camera is a little bit weird at times. Locking on and aiming's a little bit weird at times. And actually overall the game is very easy. I didn't actually have much of a challenge with this game, but I don't think that should be much of a detriment. Difficulty is kind of a bias thing, if you will, but it's a really interesting game. I think it's definitely worth experiencing for fans of Danganronpa as a series in particular. One of the most interesting stories in the whole series, and it's a fun kind of survival horror action adventure game. So I really enjoyed it. Solid spin-off, and I'm happy with all the success Danganronpa's been getting. Okay guys, and that pretty much do it for my recent pickups, covering everything I picked up in the month of September. Not a crazy month, but a lot of awesome, interesting, more recent stuff that I was really looking forward to, so that's been a lot of fun playing these games. As always, be sure to let me know what you guys picked up recently or what you guys are playing. Always interested in hearing that. And get ready for October, because October was a busy month for recent pickups. I picked up tons of stuff, new stuff, and like retro stuff, so it'll be an interesting recent pickups for sure. But as always, thank you for watching. Until next time, please take it easy, guys. Bye, guys.